Hello people, and welcome to Aquincum. It's a Roman city that's been excavated in Budapest. I've had to walk a couple of hours to get here. I could have got the bus, but I thought I'd see the city better walking. Don't miss anything, but I'll give you a little tour around and see what we can see. How much of this is actual Roman and how much of it is just reconstruction? Because that's just cement. These, I know the Romans made cement, but it looks pretty modern. You just don't know what to trust nowadays. Especially with countries trying to attract tourism, they'll just make up history. But this looks pretty legit, I've got to say. Looks old. Right. Let's have a little walk around. So this is a double bath. The double bath, which got its name from the two-row rooms arranged symmetrically along the axis of the building, may have been one of the finest baths in Aquincum. Based on this arrangement, women and men may have been able to use a bath at the same time, although separately. The vestibule may be entered from the street F, the western row of rooms opened from the southern side of the vestibule. The lukewarm bath and then the hot bath opened for the first of the spaces, the heated changing room. A double bath. So it says, is this a double bath here, the entrance over here? We'll just have a wee walk around, guys. Quite a large area, and there's lots of sort of pillars and carvings and stuff along that side, so we'll have a look at them. So what was this supposed to be? Residential building, the so-called merchant's house. Along its eastern side, a small lane separated the merchant's house from the butcher's house. Its entrance was on the south from East Street. Cool. Went into there's like a reconstruction of a Roman house. When I went inside, like, there's an old guy standing there, he's like follows you around. He doesn't even give you any information, he doesn't provide any facts, he just follows you around. And when you look at him, he looks to the ground. He's scared in case you're going to steal something or, don't know, vandalise something. But you can, this is obviously modern, this. It looks like some kind of tower. It's got grapes in it, so I don't know if they grew grapes in this thing. There's a pillar. Which, again, looks like cement. I don't know if that's even been carved from stone. It looks like it could be cement. This is cement, definitely. You can see the mixture. Thing is, with stone, when it's been carved, you can usually see the carving marks. So apparently they had, this was the underground sewage system. Right, let's have a look at these other pillars. Let's see how legit they are. They just look like cement to me, to be honest. So the meat market was situated in the southernmost building in the regular building block of buildings in the Forum district. The main entrance opened onto Street C, and where a long gateway led to an open courtyard surrounded by a porch. The customers standing on the roofed pavement could inspect what was on offer in the identically sized shops running in a row on three sides of the courtyard. The long groove running along the length of the threshold stones of the doors held boards when the shops closed up. It is a huge area. Well, like I said, how much of this is actually legit? How much has it been reconstructed? How much is modern? Like these pillars, for instance. I think they could have been carved, but this is cement. You can see the difference. This one looks more on the carved side of things, but then if you look close, again, very questionable. Right guys, let's have a look at some of these. Ruins over here. This looks old. This is old. These are old. That's more looking like old carved stone, this. Whatever these pillars were. Not sure if there's decoration on them. Looks like something could be carved on that. Again, a lot of modern concrete. For instance, as you can see in these corners, I know the Romans made their own cement, but I'm not sure if they used it to build certain structures, because the Romans did have cement. Terracotta style tiles. Again, these look ancient. But there was a Celtic tribe living here before the Romans, so whether the Celts already had structures here and the Romans just took over it. This looks interesting. Again, the slabs look old. I'm not too sure about the walls, because if I remember rightly, the Romans used to build with square bricks. You see that rough style. What does this say? Dec isu medens fricadarium. See the different layers here. Obviously, I think the lower you go, the more layers there are. Pretty cool if it is legit. Like I said, it's massive. Massive. Right. Maybe look over here. Some old pillars. That looks like a solid piece of stone. I always get suspicious when it's so bubbly like that, because it's almost like the air bubbles in the cement. But like I said, the Romans had cement as well, so makes you wonder. Like I said, it'd be pretty cool to find something. We don't have the luxury of oh, shit myself, I thought someone was standing there. Jesus Christ, I forgot he was there. The mortar. Well, obviously they've used some kind of, it looks like a basalt volcanic rock. So this could be, it does have that sort of cementy appearance, but right buddy, let's go and have a look at the rest. The great bath in the town centre was built across from the forum at the junction of streets C and D. The building can be entered through the front porch on the street C by passing the porter's lodge. Relaxation rooms opened across the entrance of an oblong shaped changing room, while to the south the baths followed. So apparently the name Aquincum comes from plentiful water or something like that, and you know how the Romans loved their baths, so this area has got lots of thermal springs, should we say. This looks like it could be an old street. Some slabs here. Another pillar. Again, I think this part here, the base, the round part on top, this is cement. It's all cement. And you see how it greys, it starts to look older. But you see there's a cement or a conglomerate or sandstone. But the top looks like it's probably been made in cement as well. This part looks old, this, but history is a very funny thing. Little lizards run around here. This looks original. This looks old. That style is called egg and dart. I used to do it. My granddad used to own a company casting this stuff for indoors. I used to make this stuff, the egg and dart. It's called egg and dart because it looks like egg, dart, egg, dart. So this piece up here looks legit. There's two concrete slabs holding it up. And you can see possibly where it was from, but again, this looks quite modern. They could do with cutting the grass. Again, there's another piece here that looks more ancient. That looks like it could be much older. But we're talking 2,000 years ago here, so if this was exposed, this would be totally worn away. And we have some kind of altar here. Again, I'm still swithering whether this is just cast cement. Yeah. Looks like they might burn something in the altar. It looks like a pillar socket. Which looks pretty old. I wonder what the grooves were for. Was this for water? Was this another bath? These baths, possibly. To be honest, a lot of this stone here is probably what they mix with the cement. Get those pillars, that appearance. Like this. People would wonder why you would fake a Roman city, but there's lots of reasons. And the main one is tourism. To attract people to the area for money. So looks like possibly water flowed through here. There was an aqueduct at the end. But you can make up your own mind, guys. Is this legit? Obviously this is modern. I don't know what the reason for this building is. Maybe they had leftover materials. You see, this is a modern building. And the walls are almost exactly the same as the one we've seen over there. So whether that's a recreation, I think it is. I used to sell ice cream here. See? This is what I mean with the tourist stuff. Looks like it's not been open for a long time. So we have a well of some type, which is pretty dry. Massive area though. Massive area. Like in Scotland, we've not got the luxury of having. This is probably more ruins in this area than the whole of Scotland. Because the Romans just couldn't settle in Scotland. You see here there's a lot of modern rubbish. Broken glass. These sort of lumps of stone, I don't know what these are supposed to represent. I'll have to pick up a bit of old stone somewhere to go to my collection of stones. So these look like all individual little rooms. And you wonder where the doorways were. Like, where's the gaps for the doorways? Or did you have to step up to go into the buildings? Again, this looks like some conglomerate rock. Whether it's mortar and stone or cement or naturally occurring. So it could be naturally occurring. That's where we were earlier. And that's the back of that wall that we seen earlier. That's interesting. It seems like another little street, paved. So it looks like it could have had like a coating over the walls as well. Wonder how much of that's legitimate. We'll go inside it, in fact. Let's have a look. Dude, you need to lay off the pies. See this? Is this a mosaic style? Is this like a Harlan that went over the original bricks? And you've got these tiles. There's certain parts that do look old, I've got to say. But to me, a lot of it looks quite like it's trying to look old. Obviously, these are just modern cement slabs. Massive slabs at that, but modern. Again, I'm not sure how legit these pillars are. They look like they were possibly cast. I wouldn't like to think so, but that doesn't look like a carved piece. You can see here, guys, what I'm talking about. This and this, it's two different stone. That might be a legit bit of stone, and this is cement on top of it. That looks old. That looks like an old pillar, that. And it looks like one solid piece of stone. But this looks old. And like I said, guys, it looks like different building styles, because every time I've sort of looked at Roman stuff, it's usually pretty neat. Like this reminds me of Scottish ruins, to be honest with you, with a different sized stone, the rough shaped stone, all different sizes. Where the Romans, I think I've seen something more like a Roman wall over here, to be honest with you guys. This over here looks more Roman. Here, see how this bottom layer looks a lot neater. See that it's more uniform. It wasn't as rough. So guys, when you look at this, you've got all these different sizes, all different shapes and sizes. Look at these. A big just blobs of cement. Just blobs of cement in here. For the mortar. This looks legit, this bit, this could be legit. Looks like it maybe held posts or something in it. It looks like there's still a lot to dig up, to be honest with you. Got all these things to look at later. I've just seen a local wildlife running around here. Something just ran past, caught my eye. Big pile of rubble here. This must be the underground sewage system. But again, lots of modern pieces. Here's a modern concrete slab. That looks quite old, whatever that is. Curved as well, curved it. You wonder if this was the materials they used to reconstruct this place. This area here, it's like a wasteland. Is this still to be dug up, or what's going on here? Is this where they practiced building these rooms? The practice area. Some of this stuff over there looks more Roman, I've got to say. It's like a wasteland. And if this is an important Roman site, why would they leave it like this? Strange. You watch my feet, there's lots of little reptiles running about. But you see this style in Scotland. Especially arcade. See over here, this looks more Roman. Style, the brick. Instead of all the different shapes and sizes. Rough. Again, this part looks old, this bit. And that section. Not too sure about the rest. Right, let's go and have a look at these tombs. Not even sure what these are. But I'll probably need to have to do more research to see how much of this is actual Roman and how much is reconstructed. It is a cool area, I've got to say. Let's go and have a look at these. These look like tombs. So there's a fragment of a family's grave stele, first third of the 3rd century. Fragment of a relief depicting a horse, fragment of a funeral epitaph, fragment of funeral step, cornerstone depicting a tendril and tropium, fragment of a frieze depicting running animals, 2nd, 3rd century, unknown find spot, unknown find spot, unknown find spot, unknown find spot. Fragment of relief depicting a crater, unknown find spot. Start at the beginning and work our way along. Sculpted plate with the high relief of a deceased married couple. Funeral medallion with a portrait of a couple and their child. Unknown find spot, unknown find spot. Why is there so many unknown find spots? So here's a couple. Here's mother and child. Oh, this looks like another person and their children. And that looks like kids suckling from a cow. Look, humans actually sucking straight from the teat. Is this Rome? Is this the wolf? That could be a wolf, in fact. Romulus and Remus. That's how Rome got its name. I'm sure Romulus killed Remus and he started the state of Rome. But I'm going to get some photographs. To be totally frank with you guys, I don't know how this is so sharp. It almost looks modern. Look at this. This is apparently nearly 2,000 years old. And you go to Scottish castles and anything like that, and any writing on anything, it's just worn away through the weather. Like this. You can't really read anything because it's all kind of worn. But then you've got that. Look how clear that is. There might be a reason why it's so sharp and detailed, but things that are 2,000 years old don't usually look that clear. Unless it's just a good state of preservation. All these are outside as well. I know they're under a I think you can just see the chip, the carbon marks. But it makes you wonder if these were cast as well. Some of this stuff is just too sharp. I'd love to believe that this is all ancient Roman, but a lot of children's sarcophagi. It looks like you can see the carving marks. But again, very well preserved, which makes me suspicious. Right, I'm going to have a look and I'll highlight anything that looks obvious. Here's another piece of cornice. Like I was saying earlier, guys, I used to do this but indoors as an apprentice. And you can see the egg and dart again at the bottom. Egg, and the dart in the middle. This would be called a dental block, but unusually it continues up. Usually they're just square, like teeth. You look at it like that, call that dental block. It's quite unusual to have the joins almost like a horseshoe shape. But it does look like a volcanic stone. As we see here, guys, on the flower pattern that we've seen in France, in the old Roman buildings. But this stretches all the way along here, all the different Roman discoveries. And I don't think it's just from this area, to be honest with you. I think a lot of these things have been dug up all around Budapest. Because Hadrian had a palace on an island on the Danube close to here, so maybe this is a lot of the discoveries over there as well. Oh, looks like a golfer or someone doing something with a skirt on, or so here we have, it looks like Ares with his horn, his ear. You can almost see his face here, sockets of his eyes, his nose in the middle, possibly a beard around here. You see the ears and the horn, the ram's horn come around here. That does look old. Some kind of amphitheatre, possibly for theatrics, music, to entertain the town. Obviously this is a modern concrete, modern wood. But if this was some kind of amphitheatre, I wish they'd just show us what was underneath. And we've got these pillars over here. Right guys, I can't really get in this building. There you go. I'm running out of battery and I need my map to get back to my hotel. It was over a 2-hour walk to get here. But you can see some more in here. Okay, we will have some kind of structure here. It's glass, plastic. Oh, we've got some mosaic mosaic tiles. Nice. Looks like a new vase over there. Nice and cool in here. Dear visitors, don't step on the mosaic, please. It's almost like a swastika design going around it. And then more cement. These terracotta tiles are interesting. Wonder if they took in the heat or been aligned together, trapped warm air in them. Yep, very cool. Like I said, I think most of this is reconstructed, but how could you get an ancient mosaic on a modern slab? I don't know. So this floor's been propped up. Pretty cool. Okay guys, I hope you've enjoyed my little tour of Aquincum. You decide whether this is a legit place. I think there's a mixture. I think there could be legit ancient artifacts, ancient stonework. I think they've recreated a lot as well. A lot of modern cement, as we can see.